Greetings once again to my fans, well wishers, strangers, to the entire globe, everyone who is listening and who will be viewing what I'm about to say this afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this channel. If it's the first time you are tuning in, and to encourage you, to encourage your friends, your family, and one and all to share the good word that is being shared through this channel. So as usual, we're going to organize the presentation in 4 parts. The first part will be a motivational word, then we will tell you about the services we offer, the presentation, and then we'll remind you again about the services that we offer. So the motivational word for today is that the lack of flexibility is the enemy of progress. So I repeat, the lack of flexibility is the enemy of progress. I posit and present to you that those who are flexible and who can adapt, not just because of COVID-19, but under any circumstances, we may say more so because of COVID-19, are the ones who are not only likely to survive, but are the ones who are likely to strive. There are many individuals who believe in the concentration of power within themselves or in an organization, as the case may be, and they may put you in a situation where your thoughts, your ideas are not given any kind of consideration. They may put you in a yes or no situation, or they may put you to comment on something that they have conceived. And in terms of the yes or no situation, to those persons there are no shades in between. But such posturing is a clear indication of a lack of flexibility and also a lack of understanding that the world that we live in is so diverse, is so multidimensional and multifaceted, that the shades of gray or the many colors in between must be considered. That's why I'm saying to you that the lack of flexibility is the true enemy of progress. Alright? There is always a creative solution, according to Stinney 1981. There is always a creative solution that may not have been thought of as yet. So do not let anybody box you into a corner. Remind them that flexibility can do the trick, because something not thought of can possibly be the solution. So to remind you of the word today, try to be flexible in your life, because the lack of flexibility is the true enemy of progress. So digest the word, allow it to motivate you, clarify your approach to things, and try to become better. So at this point in time, I will now remind you again of the services that we offer. Those services are offered through our company, Motivational Speaking International Limited, that was established in 1998. We have done training and workshops throughout Trinidad and Tobago, across the Caribbean, a couple of countries in Latin America, Canada, United States of America. And we are prepared to go all over the world, whether it's virtually or physically. We are prepared to offer those services once clients are willing, wherever they may be located. So we have conducted training in the areas of leadership, marketing, management, cooperative development, community development, psychology, which is a core area. We provide psychosocial support. We have done things such as the role of psychology in business, psychology and you, emotional intelligence, among others. Alright? So we will be quite willing to conduct a workshop with you, and as a life coach, I will be quite willing to conduct one-on-one sessions with you in terms of fulfilling your potential, in terms of guiding you on your way to glory. As you all know, that's the role of a coach, to make, whether it's an athlete or whether it's a student, because a teacher is a coach, so coaching is key to success in life, so feel free and contact us at 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779-2544, or email us at Leadership with a Difference for the conducting of a workshop or a one-on-one session in terms of life coaching, or for some requested consultation that you might be interested in. So we are open 24/7. Call us, email us, and we'll be quite willing to set up that appointment with you. So having said what I just said, I will now go into today's presentation. And the question is that I will discuss today: how wise is it to stand firm? How wise is it to stand firm? And that question is directly tied to the motivational word that the lack of flexibility is the true enemy of progress. There are many individuals in life who are determined to be right, no matter the fallout, no matter the consequences. So that kind of posturing in terms of people who might be in leadership position certainly will be of the authoritarian nature, where their right to be right, disallows any other view or any other idea to be considered. And if true progress is to be realized, how wise is it to stand firm on the rightness of your position? And even though you are right, if you adopt a position where the views of others are downgraded and not considered in an open-minded way, well then you, your organization, and others will die in the process. So standing firm, we've got to be very careful. Of course, everything has a context. If it's on a moral ground, I can easily concur with you in terms of something that is obviously morally sound and morally right to do. I will support you 1,000% that you should stand firm. But in terms of organizational life, in terms of many other areas of life, you really have to consider how wise it is to stand firm in the position that you are taking. The kind of progress that we require in life, it will call for a lot of flexibility to situations. It will call for a lot of agility in terms of thinking, in terms of planning. Because if you look at the current situation with COVID-19, people who are planning to deal with this situation, they cannot afford to stand firm for too long because things are changing so rapidly. And we have been told over and over in life that the only constant is change. So if the only constant is change and you are standing firm, it means to say that you will become an impediment to the required change or the desired change that people are seeking. So we need to try to build consensus. We need to recognize that traditional approaches are gradually and not only gradually, are rapidly going through the window in terms of how we can deal with problems and issues. When you are entrusted with leadership in an organization, your success is only guaranteed when you have a team that is really backing you and supporting you. Yes, there may be disagreement, but if fundamentally you do not have the support of the team and you are standing firm in your positions, you will be left standing alone. A one-man army cannot defeat an enemy. A one-man army cannot solve the problems that are presented to be solved. So you need to build your team, you need to empower your team, and you need to recognize that the right to be right isn't all that important, rather than trying to satisfy the collective good. And to satisfy the collective good, you will need to have the collective inputs of those who work with you. If they do not feel part of the process, if they do not feel empowered to act, to solve issues that are before them without judgment, without recrimination, then your standing firm, you certainly will not have the legs to stand on the firmness of your position. We need a model to dealing with situation now that is regenerative and sustainable. And the regenerative approach certainly, does not at all encourage people to stand firm, because your view is not less or better than any other view, but all views are equally important. So the regenerative model of leadership, according to Hartman 2021, is one where we must see ourselves as co-organizing and co-creating. And if we are to co-organize and co-create, standing firm should be thrown out of the window unless it is some moral position that is generally accepted as the right thing to do. So, to be a co-creator, to be a co-organizer, we need to be open-minded. People who are standing firm, they are adopting what you call a fixed mindset. And a fixed mindset is certainly not one that is open to solutions. People with a fixed mindset will proclaim and promote that they have done it this way, it has worked, and there is no good reason to do it another way. So again, I go back to that motivational word. The lack of flexibility is the true enemy of progress. Because when you really think about it, if you do not allow the viewpoints of everyone to be fully considered, the soundness of the solution will always be brought into question. If you have more ideas, if you have more participants, you have a greater pool of ideas, you have more brain power to tap into, and that gives you a golden opportunity to find a solution, to find an approach that may not have been considered at all from before. So I continue to pound home the point that, why is it for you to stand firm in whatever position that you are adopting? As I was just stating, the regenerative model will be a model where, from the very beginning, all stakeholders are brought to the table without any concrete proposals to work on, but whether being the creators of the proposal, being the creators of the inputs, the expected outputs and outcomes, everyone will be the engineer behind the design and the people to actually implement what is decided upon. And to stand firm, that definitely will be standing in the way from a beautiful opportunity where people can really feel a sense of power and a level of participation that can really transform organizations, that can really transform individuals if they are willing to shift away from a fixed mindset. So when you are saying, but this is the only way, that could certainly go terribly wrong. So a growth mindset is one that will be open to what everyone has to say, is one that will try to galvanize the views, work through the views, and find a consensus position that is obviously and generally satisfying to most concerned, and even those whose ideas may not have been fully considered will not feel slighted in any way because of a leader who was standing firm in their position. They will feel respected, they will feel honored to have been part of the process, and I'm saying that is such a beautiful way to approach finding solutions in life. We need to think about how what we are doing protects the current generation, and how what we are doing will protect the welfare of future generations. And to stand firm on any position may not necessarily be the best position to adopt, because when you place issues in a yes or no kind of scenario, you are not considering all possible factors. There are social considerations in terms of how it will affect people, how it will affect relationships. There are economic considerations in terms of how decisions will affect livelihood. There are ecological considerations in terms of whatever industry you may be involved in, whether it's a chemical industry, whether the byproducts of those industries are injurious to health, whether it's injurious to the environment. There are historical factors to look at. There are psychological factors. There are cultural factors. So for all of those different nuances to come to the table to find the best way forward, standing firm certainly will not cut it. I repeat, if it is on moral grounds, certainly I will concur. If it is generally accepted that this is something that really will affect the collective good, and it will be morally reprehensible to pursue such a posture, such a position. So we need to think of the collective, we need to work through the collective, because individually, whilst you may have some talent and you may achieve, collectively is always the best way, the best approach to really get the best out of any given situation. So my message today is that flexibility must come into the picture, and we must be open to considering what everyone has to say. If we are to have a brighter future, standing firm, burying our egos, and drawing on what the Egyptians termed the collective genius is the only way forward, is the best way forward. So let us reconsider the rightness of our position and think whether what we are coming up with is right for the collective. So I know, as usual, you have received the message, you will digest the message. I want you to promote the message, and in so doing, I ask you to subscribe to the channel, comment on the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and ensure when you subscribe, you turn on your bell notification so you'll be informed every time a video is posted. So once again, we remind you of the services that we offer. We conduct workshops in conflict resolution, cooperative development, emotional intelligence, leadership, communication skills, among others. And we are also available to conduct one-on-one sessions in terms of life coaching or any other form of consultation that you may require. So call early, book your appointment, email, contact us at 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779-2544, or email us at leadershipwithadifference@gmail.com. And once again, to remind you that the lack of flexibility is the true enemy of progress. So thank you for listening, and I will see you again next Monday for another presentation. So thank you, and bye till the next time.